another Video Games to the Max, episode 148. And I am your host, Sean Garmer, and with me here, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
Well, yeah, it's been a while again. Sorry about that.
I blame you.
Yes, it is my fault. It's fine. I need to stop. I'm getting too old. I need to stop sleeping.
I just need to get your phone number so I can start calling you at like 1:30 and go, let's podcast.
Actually, I even keep meaning to give you my phone number and I forget. We need to do that at the end of this podcast. Last time we were with you guys, we were doing that Nintendo Switch event thing. They have released a few more things about the Switch. Nothing that really seems like it's gonna be this knockout wonderful thing, but it kind of is what it is with the Switch at this point. Keep getting not so good news, which is kind of sad, but I don't know that we really got this impression that it was going to be anything other than a portable, more highly powered Wii U. And after, getting these specifications or whatever that were released, I'm not, seeing anything better than that. I mean, they did reveal the screenshot thing. We'll have a menu that you can go to and look at all your screenshots. There's a thing that shows the menu that looks a lot like the PS4 menu. And yeah, I mean, you'll even get Nintendo news on your deal, and there's going to be the memory card thing is going to come with a patch or an update, I guess, on day one. And that it will support 1080p and 60 frames when it's docked. So.
Did you see the screenshot of like the debug menu?
No, I have not.
Yeah, like a few screenshots leaked of that. I think it was like Nintendo Portugal ran a trailer, and they forgot to add in their screenshots. So it was just debug menu stuff, and it looks like stock Android menus, and I'm like, wow, holy Christ.
Wow.
If this thing's running Android, I know it is running Android at a certain level, but if it's running Android that deep into it, this thing is going to have no security on it at all.
Oh God, well, hackers are going to have a field day with that. Do whatever you want on the Switch pretty soon.
Just download this APK file, and now you have Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh God, that's not. No.
I'll actually be interested if somehow they can get Switch games off of that thing onto an Android tablet.
That'd be amazing, but man, that's still have to be a pretty powerful tablet, though.
Sure, but I mean, there are already tablets out there more powerful than the Switch as it is. So, especially if a tablet's running a Tegra 2 chip, no way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be hard not to be able to do.
If you don't want on a tablet, that's fine. There are also Android-based PC emulators out there that will run that stuff with no problem.
I just hope you don't hear bad things from Nintendo. I don't want to be getting one of those things and feel like I got cheated out of $300 when I could have just waited and got the thing hacked or something. I don't know. I still feel like they're going to wind up... I wonder if they're going to wind up doing a Nintendo 3DS thing like they did at the beginning, where they're going to have to come out and go, we might have to lower the price on this thing. Because, $300 might be a little steep for what you're getting.
Well, I think the Switch will sell well initially, but after the first year, who knows? Because you got to think about all the Switch games coming out, like Zelda and Mario, and that stuff. But after that glut of good games, I guess I get another Zelda in 3 to 5 years, and
I mean,
that's
yeah,
about
I
it.
mean, they could always remaster Skyward Sword too. So,
Uh,
that.
maybe, but
I mean, they can take the motion controls out of it if they want.
yeah, but you still needed an analog to play that game.
Well, don't you have the analog sticks on the Joy-Cons and all that?
Yeah, but they worked in tandem. Like if they're plugged in, how are you going to use them that well?
I mean, obviously you couldn't do two-player, but you can do the ones where they're not plugged in, or you can do or you use the Pro Controller.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I mean, Nintendo also had good news on their financial front with the Pokemon selling. Like, who knew Pokemon was going to sell, right? I mean, uh, interesting to note that Pokemon Sun and Moon is basically only behind Mario Kart 7 and Pokemon X and Y right now as the highest selling 3DS games. So, nothing really different for Nintendo. Just, hey, if you have a portable system, go buy Pokemon. It's the reason to buy your portable system. Still, so many years later. Uh, I'm still like shocked though that the 3DS. I mean, I'm sure Pokemon has a heck of a lot to do with this, but that the 3DS I think had a 20% increase from last year. But then you look at the Wii U and how bad it is. It's just dang.
That's because there were good games in the 3DS.
Like that's one thing I'd hope that they learn from all this is that you can't just have like these huge gaps where you don't have anything people actually want to have on the Switch or whatever. I mean, they have all these developers come out at the beginning. How many of them are going to actually come out with a game within a decent time frame and not have it be like delayed a bunch of times or find out it's on some other system or, you know. Ugh.
Coming soon, Red Steel 3 from Ubisoft.
And they could do it. Those, the Joy-Cons do mimic the motion controls, so, I mean, why not? I'm sure they'll come up with some kind of Carnival Games thing, too, just to see if it sells.
Yeah.
What do you think of these Xbox Gold and PS Plus lineups for the... Of course, the Xbox Gold one's already out there. Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time, which is a pretty decent indie game. Monkey Island 2 Special Edition I already have owned, but it's there on your 360 and your PS Plus stuff, which will show up next week. Little Big Planet 3, Not a Hero. Not a Hero, which very underrated game. Star Wall is cross-buy with PS4, and I feel like all these games they're picking now, it's to reward people that have PS4s, and everything else is kind of like, all right, well, good thing you still have one of those. Like all the Vita games lately have been, let's make sure they're cross-buy with PS4. Ninja Senki DX and Torque L. I mean,
The
nothing that
hottest,
stands out, but
the hottest games ever so far. Of the entire list, the only game that's actually worth a damn is Project Cars on the Xbox One.
Yeah, you have that on PC, right?
Yeah.
You
It certainly isn't the Force Unleashed on the Xbox 360.
So how does it compare to like I guess your Forzas and stuff like that? I mean, is it?
From what I remember, Project Car it plays differently. Like it's a lot more realistic, which I mean you probably wouldn't like because I don't think you're into racing games that much. But there are a lot of different car varieties, like from like hypercars to like muscle cars to even go-karts, which I thought was interesting. But they had no career, and it was very weird. I I,
Really?
st- I selected like like they had like 3 career options, and like the option I picked was like, okay, start from go-karting and like make your way up to, regular cars and like supercars and stuff like that. And I beat like 2 of the go-karting championships, and it's like, okay, stay in go-karting. And I was like, no, I want to move up to like cars now. And it never gave me the opportunity. And I was like, this is dumb. I just don't want to be go-karting for the rest of my life without red shells. Like, but I mean, it looked great. The weather system was fantastic. It's a good racing game. Like, it's not as good as Forza, but it's better than Gran Turismo.
Well, that's saying something. Gran Turismo is still pretty great racing series, so.
Not really.
Well, I mean.
Now when they only make one of them like every 7 years, and the one they make is not good.
Oh, I mean, you hope that the one for PS4 is going to be good. At least I never really cared for it because it's too realistic for me. I just.
Oh, you mean when it comes out in like 2022 and is only VR exclusive?
Yeah, or they just have a PS5 by then.
Yeah.
Like, we just had to delay it that long.
Or they just go, like, we got 2,000 cars. Only 200 of them are actually premium models, and the driving model still sucks. It's like, all right. Why are you taking the WWE video games approach to this of just having a big roster of cars instead of fixing the underlying problems?
Because they think it's what's going to get people to actually, buy the game.
Yeah. If only there was like a Brian Pillman version of a sports car.
Why? So it could just crash itself? Or?
Pretty much. Burnout mode.
Yeah, burnout mode, yeah. I mean, I thought aren't those the Dangerous Golf not so enough that they're still not going to make that game?
No, I doubt it. I think Dangerous Golf was kind of a huge failure, actually. That and actually 100-foot golf was like 100-foot golf did reviewed reasonably okay, I think, but like Dangerous Golf bombed.
Ugh,
and it's like, what do you expect?
I really wanted them to make that Burnout game, but
and they should have made it in the first place.
Yeah. I don't know if somebody told them they had to make something that wasn't Burnout first, or
why are you fucking around this golf game that no one cares about in the first place? It's like, A, it's a golf game, and B, who cares?
Yeah, if it's not Mario Golf, nobody's gonna give a crap. Or maybe, maybe the whatever the hell it is. Who's on it now? Roy McIlroy?
Yeah.
Do people even buy those things?
No. I think the last one was pretty bad, actually, also.
And EA keeps losing licenses, too. Every year, I feel like there's more talk about how they lost this golf course and that golf course. Like, really? Okay, who cares? Like, I think I played one of those one time, and I was like, yeah, this is alright.
I think Tiger Woods at 97 had a few episodes of South Park on it. That was pretty funny.
South Park. Still going strong after all these years. But, so, I mean, the last thing that we, to get out of the, last couple of things, to get out of the Switch stuff. So, they made this big deal about, well, it wasn't necessarily a big deal, but there was this rumor going around about a Rockstar game being on the Switch. Then the next day, it's like, L.A. Noire on the Switch. Like, what? Like, I don't run it. Okay.
That makes me think the Switch is no more powerful than a 2011 console.
Like, no, but seriously, like, you guys couldn't ask for, like, GTA 4 even? I mean, like, okay, the detective stuff was fine in that game, but, like, after a while, it just gets, like, monotonous. It's the same stuff over and over. None of it really varies, and, and then the open world stuff is crappy
bad
compared to... Yeah.
I have a real abject dislike of that game. Like, I've tried to play it a few different times, and it just does not pull me in at all. I find the interrogation stuff to be really weird and awkward, and like even the detective stuff is just very clumsy. I thought you just have to like walk around an area for a while until you hear an audio cue, and it's like, okay, I'm by the clue now. Let's pick it up.
Oh, now I can see why they want it. They want that audio cue thing for the Joy-Cons. Like, listen to your Joy-Con without having to watch the screen.
Honestly, I'd what they should do is make like a Bully minigame collection.
Or just put Bully on there.
Well, I mean, Bully's old. Like, that's a decade-old game. Like, more than that at this point. But come up with something new, like a Bully mini, like what they're already doing with the 1-2 switch thing or whatever, like dodgeball or something like that.
Would Rockstar really do something like that though?
Make table tennis too, then.
Why not? Hey, I like that table tennis game. It's the most serious table tennis game I've ever seen.
They're still using that game engine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo's just happy to get like any freaking port they can get at this point and think that that's gonna do something. It's just
Isn't that what I mean, to me, that's what partially doomed the Wii U. Is it got a bunch of ports of games that didn't matter, like Mass Effect 3, and like
we're not going to have the other two games.
Or like Batman Arkham City, and it's like, all right. I mean, Arkham Origins was already out at that point, and they were already working at Arkham Knight, so it's like, okay.
Yeah, everybody that's played that game
already played it.
That wants to play it is already, like, I just don't see people that had the Wii going, all right, I have never played any other console ever, except for the Wii, other than the casual people that didn't even care what the Wii U was because they were too confused about what it actually was. So, yeah, I don't know that this is going to attract the casuals either because the price is so high. And then you tell them that they got to pay another $80 for controllers and everything else. I mean,
I mean, I think the core price of the system is actually fine. Like $300 is pretty part and parcel, honestly. I mean, but the high controller cost is one thing, but don't lose the controllers.
Yeah,
problem solved.
Don't let your pets. Well, but if you want to have 4 controllers, you gotta pay the other $80. So instead of buying, which at launch, there's only 5 games or whatever. So other than buying, let's say you buy Zelda, which is $60. If you want to have, for some reason, you decided you wanted to buy 1-2 Switch and you want to have a party and have 2 more controllers, you're looking at like close to like $500 and something at that point. So, the price that you're looking at, you go, oh, well, I could have a PS4 or an Xbox One with a bunch of games.
Yeah, but it's not portable. And also, like, think of that argument when the PS4 or Xbox One came out. Like, the Xbox One was, $500 when it launched, wasn't it?
Right, yeah.
And if you wanted to, get a game and then, like, multiple controllers, that was $600. So.
Yeah, but, I think with the other systems, it's not so much like this prevalent idea that you're gonna need more than one controller, right? Because the thought is, oh, well, I can just play with my friends online. Well, with Nintendo, you just never know, because even though this Nintendo Network apparently is going to cost $30, a year, which is $30 less than the other guys, does that mean that you're going to have half the? Is that because a lot of the stuff you get on the system is on that phone?
Yeah.
Or is that because your network is going to be shittier?
That too.
Yeah. It's like
Nintendo's not done a good online system ever.
Well, it's true, but it's just like you're setting the bar low when you're wanting people to still pay full price for your games and you don't go down on your games, but I feel like they're scared that if they put it at 60 and then it sucks, that people are going to get pissed. So if they put it at 30 and they do a passable job, that people will be happy with it.
And then they'll raise it up like Sony did.
Oh, probably so. But you have to justify something else, like you're going to have to do something where you might have to get to keep some of these games or something. Not
You'll get 2 free games a month instead of 1.
that you only get to keep for that month.
And one of them will always be Bubsy 2.
With multiplayer. Did it even have multiplayer?
No, they'll patch it in.
Let's just add multiplayer for no reason to Bubsy 2. And yes, I mean, I'm a fan of these games, these Cookie Mama games. I actually like them. It helps you learn how to sort of basically learn how to cook things. It doesn't. I'm not saying it goes way out there on a different scale or whatever, but I had fun learning different things and getting to play it with the 3DS and stuff. So I'm glad to hear that they're still bringing these to the West. Have you ever play these?
Nope.
The cooking? No.
Because I don't have a 3DS or a DS.
Well,
they need to keep bringing over babysitting mama games though.
What are you trying to say? You're saying the mamas aren't babysitting their own kids?
Yeah. shake the baby some more.
Oh, jeez. So, some bad news about some games here. Square Enix, even though we have good news to talk about with them later, it's actually sort of surprising news, really. They are deciding to, well, for one, hearing that Tomb Raider sold well enough that they're making a third game now. But Eidos is going to go ahead and start working on a third Tomb Raider, and they're going to put Deus Ex on hiatus for a while.
You say that's a bad thing, but honestly, I played the last Deus Ex. It's probably a good thing. Like, the last Deus Ex game was very similar to the last one. And it's like, aside from how it looks, they were pretty much the same damn game. So, if they gave that franchise a little time off, that's fine. Like, 2 or 3 years, then get people interested in it again. Go on. Go for it.
Do you think there's a worry that it just won't come back at all, or?
No, because I brought it back. They brought it back from a 10-year hiatus in the first place.
So I'll just go on another 10-year hiatus, and we'll bring you back when this new generation doesn't even know what you are. We can sell people on that.
Well, look at that Alice game they made a while ago.
The second one?
Yeah. It's like no one was really clamoring for this, and you made it. And
I liked it. I don't know. I know not everybody was a big fan of it, but
I thought it was like way too long.
That I'll agree with. Like, God, it felt like it went on forever.
Like, the original Alice game was like a 6 to 8 hour game, and the second one was like a 30-hour game. And it's like, no, please no.
Yeah. It's kind of, I've worn out my welcome on creepy Alice at this point. But, I mean, I still think, it's way better than those Disney Alice movies. So, I mean, that's not saying much, but still.
Well, the second one was such a big hit. What are you talking about?
I felt like they just made the second one because they know they had to. Like, okay, you made Alice in Wonderland. Well, you kind of got to make it through the Looking Glass or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're still making those.
Pirates?
Yeah, Pirates and all that. So, I mean, nothing really surprises me with Disney sometimes.
When are they making that Lone Ranger sequel that everyone's clamoring for?
Oh, God.
That and John Carter.
John Carter, the biggest, wasn't that like their biggest bomb?
One of them,
And
yeah.
like ever? Jeez. I remember looking at that and going, man, that's just terrible. And at least Lone Ranger had something with it, but. So Titanfall 2, one of the great games of 2016, won some Game of the Years for quite a few people. Didn't perform well in the sales department, and has people wondering if there's going to be a Titanfall 3.
Yeah, because it got released like in between Call of Duty and Battlefield 1. It's like, what do you expect?
I don't understand EA. Like, why would you cannibalize this thing that you made a big deal about having the first one, okay? And then you put everything in this one that people wanted, and then you're going to go sacrifice it between the other game that you have, Battlefield, and then your competitor. Like,
It's because they own Battlefield and they don't technically own Titanfall. I think.
I know,
That's
but
one,
you couldn't.
and they set up my like counter program to like Call of Duty, like the sci-fi shooter.
I guess, but there is
Like,
such a thing as getting shootered out.
yeah, like it did have been smart, they would have released it like March. Nothing's coming out, you know.
Yeah, or at least like
Not in the 2 week period between
September or
those two.
something when they
Yeah.
released it. Wasn't the first one like at the end of September?
I thought that first one was like, let me check. I thought it was like April though or something.
Might have been. But I mean, like, even then, like, middle September or something. It's still enough time between that and Battlefield, a month between Battlefield, that by the time people got done with the campaign and all that kind of stuff, oh, well, kind of want another shooter to play.
Yeah, the
Not,
first one was March 11th.
March, okay. So, I mean, EA makes no sense. I mean, it's not like that. I mean, the game was wonderfully received and everything. Just, you want your game to sell. It doesn't make sense to me to put it between two other games. Their hope is that it's going to be like Battlefield 4 and that it just keeps selling. I feel like Battlefield 4 just kept selling because people were hoping that one day they fix it, so they keep buying it.
Good philosophy.
Aren't they still releasing DLC for Titanfall 2?
Yeah, but it's all free.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Do you think this is going to actually have legs, though? People are going to just keep buying this game?
I doubt it. I don't think people bought the first one that much. Like, when it would go on sale, people would buy it, but that's about it. And that's how I bought Titanfall 2. It was like a $30 sale. So
yeah, and when you look at the big rankings for 2016, what's the first two games on this list here? Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, and Battlefield 1. Yeah, no wonder Titanfall got squeezed out. Everybody was buying the other two games, and then not to mention that Call of Duty had like every kind of sale imaginable. They were giving it away for a penny during Christmas. I mean, if you inflate those numbers with that. But
I was pretty shocked by this ranking. The two games I was shocked about was Grand Theft Auto 5 is number 6 for 2016. What the hell?
Yeah, and Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is number 8.
GTA 5 is still a $60 game for the most part.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about the Call of Duty from last year as well. I mean, it's just like Grand Theft Auto's what, like 3 years old? 3 years old at this point. People are still buying that game. The Division being third was also kind of interesting. It was very interesting.
That was the other thing. I was like, whoa, that's pretty high.
I mean, I wonder if people, you had a lot of people who had problems with it on PC and they just bought it on console instead.
I thought Overwatch being number 7 was also kind of interesting because every online site does a gaga over Overwatch, but it sold 7th, but that's not like super high.
Well, it's kind of like what we just talked about with Titanfall, right? Like, every freaking site was talking about how great Titanfall was. And, I think we even had a part of the podcast where we talked. I mean, we had Titanfall number 2. So, I mean, sometimes it shows that critical acclaim isn't everything. I mean, the usual suspects you would think NBA, Madden, FIFA being number 9 is interesting. But Final Fantasy 15 creeping in there at number 10 with only a month. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'd say. So that's good for Square. They got people to buy their game, and now they're going to even update the final chapter because people have a problem with it. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it so much. I know what people are complaining about, and I can totally see because it tries to be like 5 different games at once when you get to that part. I know you haven't gotten there, so I don't want to get into anything specific, but yeah, I can understand why they're doing it. I can understand the whole part of why they're adding more story more than that, but March 28th, along with the Gladio DLC, where you get to find out where he went for that one period.
When he became a hunter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hunt Gilgamesh. All right. Why you couldn't tell us that? Oh, all right. I'm glad the picture thing is gonna get updated because I was so tired of having to delete pictures after a while. I don't know why they just don't make that thing unlimited. Like, why? You can't go buy a memory card at Final Fantasy 15. Like,
people have like 9,000 pictures, and it'll take up all the PS4 hard drive space.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like you should have been able to upgrade the amount of pictures you can have in game or something.
Like, do you have a lot? Like, I have like 70 or 80, and that's fine.
Well, I mean, I would just take a picture of like every time they would camp. I would take one picture from the set.
Yeah.
So eventually it would get to like 150, and then I'd have to just start deleting stuff until they got to the point where I just deleted a bunch of the early stuff and just kept all the later stuff when I got to the end.
They should really do is implement what Firewatch did, so you can like send the picture. You can like send the pictures back to Square Enix, and they can send you the actual photos. They can just mail it to you.
That would be cool. Why not?
It'd be expensive.
Yeah, probably. Square would not be paying for that kind of thing. I do like the idea of getting to listen to the Final Fantasy music while being on the Chocobo. It's kind of sacrilegious, I feel. Just because you're always supposed to be listening to that Chocobo music while you're on the Chocobo, but...
I always think of, they had this, like, way back in the day, this Newgrounds Flash cartoon about Final Fantasy. I think it's, like, 7 through 10. And they set it to the Chocobo music, and I always think of that.
I feel like I've watched that at least once.
Yeah.
When, like, Newgrounds was, like, the place to go for all the Flash videos.
Yeah, and it was still relevant.
Right. That site's still going?
It's still around. It'll never really go away, but no one cares about it anymore.
I'm surprised that, like, somebody hadn't tried to buy them out by now, or whatever. But,
yeah.
I mean... I'm cool with that. That's one of the things I loved about riding in the car was the Final Fantasy music, and now I guess you can do that while you're riding your Chocobo. So because you do that a lot, I did it a lot too. Just
didn't you buy the MP3 player?
There's an MP3 player you can buy.
Yeah, in the car. Like the car, that car has a store, right?
Yes.
And there's like an MP3 player you can buy to listen to music as you're like walking around, also.
Oh, I didn't know that. I always thought it was just from the car. Oh, well.
No.
I'll have to, next time I boot that game up, I'll have to buy the MP3 player.
Yeah, it's only like 100 gold or something, so it's like whatever.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It's like how much it costs to buy one of the albums.
Yeah.
let's see what. I know you're excited about this SWAT 4.
Yeah, because I didn't want to pay $90 for a copy of it.
Jeez, $90.
I actually looked on eBay like a week before it came. Yeah, SWAT 4 Gold is on GOG right now for like $10, and a boxed copy of that game is the cheapest one is $95 on eBay.
Oof.
And these aren't American copies, by the way. They're like European copies. So it's kind of a crapshoot if they even work.
But isn't oh well PC's region free, right? Or
Oh yeah, but it takes a lot more space because of languages, and it might not. You never know, really.
well, that's true. Yeah. Well, good thing for GOG that they were able to get it on there for $10, and now I'm guessing you're already enjoying it. And
I haven't bought it yet. I haven't been poor, but I'll buy it when I can.
So
Like it's a very good game. Like Ken Levine worked on it, so.
So what do you are you? Is it a flying game or is it a like where you're the SWAT team and?
It's a tactical first-person shooter. Like you go and you have to like breach houses and subdue criminals and rescue hostages and stuff like that. But you're supposed to do it non-lethally. Like you're not supposed to go in like guns blazing. And like if you get shot once, you're like done. It's like realistic in that sense.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's kind of like Rainbow Six Siege, but before.
No, it's like Rainbow Six Siege, but good.
Fair enough on that. So like Square Enix, we talked about them, with the Deus Ex, with Final Fantasy. Then you get this shocker of all the publishers I thought would be signing some deal with Marvel for Avengers. I didn't think it'd be Square Enix, I guess, unless you want to include the Kingdom Hearts tie-in. But so they're making an Avengers game or a series of Avengers games, which I don't know why I cannot find the thing about it at this point. But
I think
yeah,
Eidos Montreal's making it.
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, so the people behind the Tomb Raider. It's going to be a console game, which is weird because, Disney's pretty much been making like mobile games other than, when they do stuff with Star Wars or whatever. So, I mean, do you feel like, it could just be like another Marvel Ultimate Alliance or, what?
No, I think it'll be a lot more linear, I would say, like a lot more character driven. Like I don't think you'll be swapping between like Iron Man and Thor in like the same area or the same like level, for example. I think it's interesting, like you said, the whole like Disney Square Enix like partnership with like Kingdom Hearts. Like, is Kingdom Hearts 4 going to have like just Marvel characters in it, or even Star Wars?
I think they already said Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to have Marvel characters in it.
Okay, well, what about Star Wars then? Like, is it going to be Sora teaming up with like Luke and Wolverine?
I wonder. I wonder. I mean, I don't think Wolverine would be allowed in the game, but I think they're sort of keeping that under wraps. Like the Star Wars one is, if that's even there, they're really not saying much about that. But the Marvel one is like almost expected at this point for them to reveal that. They already had the Big Hero 6 that's going to be in there and everything. I mean, this sounds really cool if they can actually. I'd imagine that you'd at least play with 2 of them, if not 3 of them, and maybe there's some DLC that lets you play with some of the other ones. Avengers wise.
Yeah, but it's only 10 Avengers? 12?
Yeah, but I mean they have different versions of them where they can, add people and I mean, they could
The,
probably get at least 2 games out of it, right? If you're
the only thing I would say is if this is going to be like a real game, like a real Marvel game, I want the actors doing voices for it. Like that shouldn't be hard.
right, but that's money, and technically they're signed to movie contracts, not game contracts. I think, unless
Yeah, but it's a difference between Robert Downey Jr. filming for 6 months and Robert Downey Jr. saying talking in the microphone for 6 days.
yeah, but how much money are they got to pay Robert Downey Jr. to talk in there for 6 days? That's the problem. I mean,
Well, again, though, he's not. He's not like having to wear the suit and acting on a screen. Like,
right. I mean, I'm assuming that the voice acting contracts are way less, obviously, but still, if he's 20 million per movie, I'd imagine it's at least half that for a voice, or at least 5, or
it should be like 1.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you've still got are the voice actors still on strike?
Yeah, technically that's true also, but
I mean,
they're not a part of that union, I don't think.
so I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it would have to be the screen actors people, but who knows? They could do it. I wonder if they would try to save themselves money that way to be able to put more into the game. This is the right people to be doing it, though. I mean, they're the ones that are very in tune with, the American side, the sort of non-RPG side of Square Enix. So
They're also making they're rumored to be making a Guardians of the Galaxy game also.
oh, besides the Telltale one,
Yeah.
why not? If they can do it right. I mean, you can't do any worse than like the Deadpool decent game that was, or whatever. So
I have a friend who defends that game, and I'm like, you're nuts.
I think Daniel sort of liked that game a little bit too. I mean, he didn't think it was the greatest game ever, but
like it is
yeah.
it's like a definition of like a 2 or 3 star game. Out of like
right, yeah,
5
like
stars.
a 5, like a 6 or something.
It's perfectly average, but it's like that does not. It's not good. Like
right, it's okay. I got it for like $5. Okay, let me play this.
Yeah, it's like it not being terrible does not make it good. It means it's just average.
Right.
Like the last good Marvel game, like it was like a console Marvel game, like would probably be like Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine. That wasn't like Marvel Ultimate Alliance type, like the X-Men Legends or whatever.
I'm talking single player game.
Yeah, it would be Wolverine. Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man games were like.
Again, or wasn't
average,
the X-Men movie game actually pretty good too?
No.
I thought it was.
None of them were. Like they had one that was like Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and I think Iceman.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That might have been like X-Men 2, but no. The Wolverine game. That's about it.
Yep, and of course you got the terrible Thor and Captain America and Iron Man games.
That actually, Captain America is not bad. It's like a step above average. They at least got the voice actor, like the actress in the movies to do the voices in the game.
Oh yeah, that's because that was like it was a movie game, so they made it part of the contract or whatever. So.
And I think it's like, I want to say it's like rare now. Let me check.
Yeah, I think they've stopped making it. So if you're trying to find it, or
yeah, because I think it was like for like Xbox 360, it became like an expensive game. Yeah, a copy of that game is $115 for 360.
Ooh. Yeah, not paying for that.
The PS3 one's $70.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much how all of that stuff went for the PS3 because it was there was so many problems a lot of times with those games on PS3.
Yeah.
God, I remember was it Skyrim and Fallout both had terrible problems on that system for different reasons.
Yeah.
So they have more game announcements here. Your favorite Dirt 4. Yeah.
I hope it's good.
Pillars of Eternity 2, which I'm hoping would actually work on my computer. And Ni no Kuni 2, which is apparently also coming to PC. Nothing really new for Sony. They like to put their games on PC as well.
I would like it if Ni no Kuni 1 came to PC.
I wonder if they'll do that. They'll kind of pack it in with 2 or something.
Like make it like a pre-order bonus or something.
Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, apparently they have nothing to do with each other, so...
If Mr. Drippy's not in this game, fuck this game.
I don't think Mr. Drippy is in Ni no Kuni 2 at all.
Then I don't have to care about it.
Apparently it's also a very much more adult-oriented game, too. But we shall see. Banner Saga 3 getting made. I don't know why, if you made 2 of these games, why you have to have Kickstarter campaigns for them still, but...
Well, they actually did talk about that a little while ago. 1 was kickstarted pretty successfully.
Right, yeah.
2 was not. Like, they just made it by themselves, and I think that one of the CEO or like project lead or something talked about, like, they should have kickstarted it because it got the community involved. And he mentioned, like, they didn't talk about too much, and that reflected in the sales. Like, 2 did not sell that well at all compared to the first one. So that's why they kickstarted the third one, I think. Partially because they need the money to, but also to, like, get people to talk about it and, like, you know, interact with the project more and see what they want instead, which isn't bad. Like, it's a small studio. I don't fault them for doing this. I don't like it when Square Enix keeps bugging me every month to go, like, kickstart our games, and I'm like, fuck you, you're Square Enix. Quit bugging me for money. Make it yourself, you cheap bastards. Like, that's what I don't like.
Yeah, I wouldn't. When you tell me about that, I'm not a big fan of it either, because it's like, y'all are a big publisher. Like, come on now. And when have you really heard of any of their, like, Kickstarted things ever doing anything?
Yeah.
It's like, they get stowed away somewhere, and we never hear about them.
I'm still waiting for them to go start kickstarting Final Fantasy 16. We only need $100 million.
Oh. Hey, at least Final Fantasy 12 got a release date, so only got to wait till June 11th for that game to come out. Too far away at this point. But they are releasing that Mobius game in like 3 days on Steam.
Woo!
Somehow it's, I don't know, probably going to just be okay. I don't know.
Speaking of Steam, have you heard about this Conan game?
Yeah, that Conan Exiles or whatever.
Yeah,
yes.
Everything I've seen about it is like, it has a penis slider. It has
tits
in it. Yeah, it literally has a package slider, and it's like that. Okay, how is the actual game?
What?
Who cares? It has a dick slider. It's like, no. What's the game? You know.
Isn't it like free to play or whatever?
Yeah. Well, no. It's like, I mean, it's cost some money. Yeah, it's $30 right now.
I really ought to ask those Funcom people if I wonder if I could even get somebody to want to review that game. Every time.
Who likes penis? Raise your hand.
Well, we do have one.
It is uncensored, by the way. Also, like
that doesn't surprise me. If you're gonna have a package slider, it's gonna be uncensored.
At least in games like Saints Row, like they kidded around with it a little. Like
right,
I think like a sexual meter or something. But it's like, no, this one says like dick staring you in the face. How high do you want it to go? Literally.
Wow.
Oh, and big surprise, the reception so far is mixed. It's like, yeah.
Surprised it's not all bad. Like Double Dragon 4 right now. Ooh. So, well, sorry, I lost it there, but I forgot where the hell we were at some point. So I think that's it for the announcing of new games. There is this big case that was won by ZeniMax over Oculus, which they get five. Well, this is what the case says right now. It doesn't mean that they'll actually get $500 million because, very much like the we saw with that Hulk Hogan Gawker case, he got 150 something million and he wound up getting 31 million. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that will go down. And especially with all the crap that Palmer Luckey did politically in 2016. This is kind of like just desserts, sort of, for that crap. But this doesn't surprise me at all, I guess.
Now he has to wait another month before he can build his money bin to swim around in it.
Is he gonna have a money bin?
Why wouldn't he?
Oh, wow.
Scrooge McDuck did.
I know, but is he gonna have to pay some money out for this thing?
He has to pay $50 million.
Oh well, I'm sure that's not chump change for him.
Yeah, and it breaks down. Oculus owes $300 million. Palmer owes $50 million, and I think the guy's name is like Brandon Lieb or yeah.
Brandon Uribe.
Yeah, he owes $150 million.
Jeez. How did Palmer Luckey only have to pay $50 million for lying about where the headset came from, but Uribe has to pay $150 million? What the?
Probably more lies or something like that.
Well, and now ZeniMax is actually seeking an injunction so that they can't sell the Oculus at all.
That's pretty funny.
So, I wonder how much of a hit Facebook is going to have to take before they just go, all right, we're done selling these.
We're going to buy the Vive.
I wonder if that'll make it to where they'll lower the price on the Vive if they don't have an actual competitor like the Oculus to.
Why? If anything, it'd go up.
True, but I guess if you want more people to own it or whatever, I still feel like this is all a gimmick. I got an email. I think I got woke up with an email from GameStop saying, "Hey, we got more PSVR units."
Yeah, with like the Until Dawn Carnival of Death or whatever bundled in.
The Rush of Blood thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I can't speak ill of the VR thing. I haven't used it. But honestly, there's nothing that tells me this is going to be something that lasts for a very long time. And
what are you talking about, man? I still got my 3D TV.
But honestly, I even the Resident Evil, which you can play the whole time in VR, everybody that I hear talk about it, it's cool, but it still feels like a gimmick. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll find that game that will finally get things going. But it's just like, it also looks. When I see the setup that you have to have for even the PSVR, it seems really annoying. Like, unless you have a room dedicated to it with a separate PS4, who wants to keep moving their PS4 around constantly for that?
Yeah.
But
I don't have a room in my apartment big enough for the Vive room experience crap.
Right. Yeah.
My living room is not big enough.
Hell, my living room wasn't big. It would be now, but with the one that I had originally when I had the Kinect wasn't big enough for that. So, I can only imagine for the VR, except for PSVR, where you can just do that sitting down. But still, I don't want to say anything, downplay. I'm just saying that this thing with Oculus, if it actually gets to where you can't be sold, is not good for VR. Period. Even though still the thought on the Scorpio is that Scorpio is going to have some kind of VR thing, and I wonder if they would have to partner with somebody else because the thought was they were partnering with Oculus. So I wonder if they could make a deal with Vive or something for that, but they get a lower powered version of it or something. Don't know
Maybe.
how that would work. So the Division movie has a director, Steve Gagnon. He's going to write and direct the Division movie. He's written Traffic, and he also wrote the wonderful script of Call of Duty Ghosts, let me tell you. And the Syriana movie, which I actually liked, so he was a director on that. This is a series that you're kind of big on, so...
I like the Division story. I don't think it'll work well as a movie. Also, this guy doesn't impress me that much.
Right.
And given, Ubisoft's past movies of Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia, it's all right.
Yeah.
Why don't they say fuck it, make a Rain Man movie instead?
Why not?
Casting Jaden Smith as Rayman.
It's the same thing like with EA. Why not make another Need for Speed, right? Because the first one just did great. The first one they came back with, especially after that movie.
Bombed horribly.
Yeah, but Aaron Paul just...
They were expecting it was going to be like a Fast and Furious movie, franchise, and it's no one cared.
It's like you already got one Fast and Furious. You think people can't snuff out when you're trying to do the same thing? Just
look how well Torque did.
Oh yeah. God.
Which is a better movie than Fast and Furious. Don't
get
me wrong, but still.
Well, no surprise, people. Star Wars Battlefront 2 coming this holiday season. There will be a single-player campaign. Let's see if it's decent enough. And there's going to be more heroes and characters than the original game. So basically, you're going to take all the heroes and characters from the original game and then add more onto them, right? So,
playable Admiral Akbar.
And then you'll get to go across different parts of the Star Wars universe, not just in multiple locations in that one part of it. So that's cool. Battlefront was a good game. I've enjoyed what I've played of it. It's not something I want to own or anything, but
I didn't play it. I don't really have any interest in that Battlefront or Battlefield series whatsoever. So, except for 2142, which I kind of liked, but they stopped supporting it. It doesn't work anymore.
You wouldn't even want to try out Battlefield 1? Heard so many great things.
No, I don't care about World War One.
Fair enough then. You do have to kind of care about the location. Sony, pretty much what has been the same thing for Sony for a while now. PlayStation stuff is doing okay. And everything else is losing money.
Not.
So
yeah, I think they lost $1 billion in their film division.
Yikes!
It's good going with that Ghostbusters movie, huh, guys?
Oh yeah, that was such a great decision there, Sony. But hey, you wanted to make it, right?
Well, here's the thing: the first Ghostbusters cost I don't know, $10 million to make. I think, if right. $30 million to make. The one they made last year cost $140 million.
Yeah, but that was also the '80s, right?
Okay, if you adjust for inflation, let's say the first one cost $70 million in today's money. Right. That's still half of what this one cost. and it looked better,
Agreed.
and it made more money.
True. But I wonder if they made a male Ghostbusters movie, if that would have done anything or brought back some of the original cast or anything. I just, I don't know.
Well, they were rumored. They were I think it stopped, but there were rumors they're going to make another male Ghostbusters movie also, but that died.
Well, and then they went and make a Ghostbusters 4, but then what's it? The main guy, one of the main guys died.
Harold Ramis died. Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, they can always get Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson to do it.
Yeah, Bill Murray. He's not doing anything.
No, Bill Murray has more Garfield movies to voice.
I like to forget that time where Bill Murray decided he wanted to go artsy. And I'm just like, all right, whatever suits your boat there, Bill Murray.
I mean, some of his artistic movies are okay, but no. Get back in the
Transpotting or.
Well, Lost in Translation, people like a lot. They're nuts, but what was the one he did though? That was terrible. St. Vincent.
Is that Aqua something or whatever the hell is?
Oh, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yeah.
I don't think, was he in that? Yeah, he was in that. Okay, yeah. If that's okay, because I mean, the guy making that is Wes Anderson. He doesn't make bad movies.
True.
But St. Vincent was a bad one. And he was in this really terrible war movie. I forget what it was. Oh, Aloha is also a piece of shit.
Oh. Yes, agreed.
Fuck you, Cameron Crowe. Quit making movies.
God, Cameron Crowe's still making movies.
He made one good movie. He made two. I don't like Jerry Maguire.
He was all in that Left Behind movies.
No, I don't like Jerry Maguire, but it's still a good movie. And Vanilla Sky is an okay movie also. He's known for Almost Famous. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it is what it is at that point. But I mean, so they did leak things about the Scorpio, which this is old at this point, but pretty much you have the creator of Ori and the Blind Forest, Thomas Mahler, come out, talk about Scorpio not being a half-ass upgrade. It is a full-blown next-gen machine that just happens to let you play Xbox One games on it. He feels like there will be a separation between the consoles and that there will be exclusive games for the Scorpio at some point, even if Microsoft will tell you no. And it's going to be 4.5 times as powerful as the Xbox One, just has been pretty much touted around. We do know those 6 teraflops are really in there, whatever the hell that means. So.
Well, I read two things. One is that one of the rumors I read was that it's more powerful, but it's still going to be somewhat on par with a PS4 Pro, which is kind of scary. And
oh, you mean the insides?
Yeah.
Stuff, yeah.
And the other thing is power ultimately doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's what the people do with that power and how well it's optimized. If you look at past generational consoles, the PS3 versus 360, the PS3 was a much more powerful console than the 360. But which was the better one? The 360, because people programmed for it better. Or the PS1 and N64 and Sega Saturn. In some respects, the Saturn was if you want to talk about 2D games, best of the three. But the PS1, did 3D better than either those other two systems. So it's well, and the biggest one is the Xbox and versus the PS2. like the original Xbox. The original Xbox was like double the processing power of the PS2, but which one of that console wore PS2?
Right.
So I mean, it's going to be great if it's it's all powerful and can make wishes come true and smell like leprechauns, but if developers don't develop for it and if no one cares, then what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I think the difference is it's Microsoft, right? They're going to have people developing for it. It's more about if people are going to take advantage of that power and it's really going to look like amazing and, blow everybody away. And then, you still got the thing of, well, you got to have a 4K TV to really realize how crazy awesome this is. So it's like, well, are you really going to be able to tell the difference if you're not into that range of having that kind of TV? So, what's the point?
Yeah. Read that sales figure thing I posted a little.
So Xbox One has sold 26 million units in total, while the PS4, which now is even higher than this number, they're at 60 million, according to their financial thing. So Xbox One sold 7 million units in 2016, and if it wasn't for the Xbox One S coming out, they probably would have sold a heck of a lot less. PS4 sold 20 million units in 2016. Ouch.
It's only they're only trailing by 100%, over 100%.
Yeah, I mean, no wonder Microsoft doesn't report these figures anymore, because they're getting their ass handed to them. But, I mean, think about it though. Yeah.
Well, there's two problems. One is everyone, or most people know that Scorpio's coming out, so why are they going to buy an Xbox One? The other thing is, like, when the Xbox One comes out, do they think it's going to sell 40 million units?
Not if it's at the price they're saying it's going to be, where it's going to be a,
$500 or $600 machine.
Yeah, don't think so. There'll be people that are crazy enough to buy it, but don't think that's going to be in droves or whatever.
No. Trading your Xbox One at a GameStop for $100 in Scorpio credit.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I guess if it was 500, it would get you down to what the system was costing for a while, the 400. But still, it's.
And then if you go into a GameStop and you go, do you have any new Xbox Scorpios? They'll be like, no.
Yeah, exactly. GameStop will come and tell you that they don't have anything, just so they don't go over their COL figures, because they have this stupid new initiative called Circle of Life, which apparently, according to people that actually work there, they've had for a while. Basically meaning that they're going to pulverize you into the ground if you don't get pre-orders and get pre-owned games and everything else. Pretty much the same strategy they've had for a long time, just they're making people have to pay with their jobs if they don't meet their quotas, which is absolutely ridiculous, to the point where workers, when you go in there and try to buy a new game, and apparently this happened even with like the next day after a game came out, they were telling him, oh, we don't have new copies of that game. So apparently one person even did an online order, which this doesn't work for Kmart. If you do an online order, you have to wait 24 hours. You couldn't wait in store. But GameStop, apparently you can wait in the store. And he watched the guy pull, I think it was Resident Evil, from the back for that online order, and he goes, oh, I'm the one here picking up the online order.
Oops.
Yeah. It's not like, people can't catch you in these lies. I mean,
there was something today on Kotaku about, like, some GameStop, I think it was a GameStop CEO, he put, like, a memo going, like, oh, we saw this post, and we just want people to know that, like, we don't think people are, like, the incidence of our employees lying to customers is very low. It's like, yeah, right.
I mean, I've never had this problem in the two GameStops that are closest to me that I go to. Of course, I really haven't. I usually buy, if I buy a game, it's either on. I have it pre-ordered, so I get it that night that it comes out, which obviously they have to sell it to you new because you're buying it then, or it's something that I'm buying the next day and I don't have a problem. They've never told me, oh, we don't have it. It's usually sitting right behind them. They can't tell me that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can understand somebody that comes in and though they will give you that rhetoric of, oh, it's only for the people that pre-ordered. I was like, yeah, whatever. I have $60 right now. You're really going to tell me you're not going to give it to me?
It's like, well, I guess I'll go across the street to where the Best Buy is and go buy it there.
Exactly, because where one of the GameStops are near me, Best Buy is across the street. The only reason I would even go to GameStop is because I have the credit card there, which makes it to where I don't have to have the money out of my pocket right then. But, it's just, still, this is a bad sales practice, and it's terrible for those employees. I feel so bad for them. Like,
that's the thing, is GameStop has had stuff like this going on for a while. Like, I remember, 10 years ago, I had a friend in college. He was working at GameStop, and he had to hit pre-order numbers every week, or he'd get fired or written up and then fired. And it's like, that's fucked up. Like,
well, not to mention the practice of how they do the stores, where they just leave them by themselves all the time, and they can't ever give nobody hours or whatever.
It's like, if I owned a game store, I would never want to have my employees if your numbers aren't high enough, you're gone. It's like, how does that inspire like confidence or loyalty, or if anything, reward the people who do well, not punish people who don't do well. Like, that's negative reinforcement, son. That does not work with people that well.
But apparently that doesn't work with them. They've been doing this strategy for years. I mean, you can still go on YouTube and watch all these videos of horror stories.
Even old training videos are hysterical.
There was one. Apparently, you're not even supposed to be calling GameStop people that walk in the door customers anymore. This is hilarious. But go ahead.
Remember, did you ever have Hollywood Video out there?
Yes, we did. Yeah. In Texas, we did.
Remember, they had a Game Crazy.
Yeah.
They had one of their training videos leak for Game Crazy, and A, it was actually kind of racist. And then B, it was the most embarrassing thing you could imagine.
Wait, what did they do on this?
If I remember right, it was this overweight white woman was rapping about how to sell video games. And it's wow.
What? Wow. That's terrible. Oh. Hopefully this X-Men TV series that Fox is going to do is not terrible. Especially if it has Bryan Singer directing the pilot, and it's going to have Sentinels. I wouldn't even have a problem if it's something like Gotham, but X-Men related. But, whatever they decide to do here.
Here's my question is, what X-Men do you have?
Well, I mean, you can't do the two that are on another series on FX, so...
Well, I mean, that's disconnected from that's pretty disconnected from X-Men as it is. I'm talking about which X-Men characters would you have in this show? Realistically.
Well, you gotta have Wolverine, right?
I mean, why? How? They're not gonna get fucking Hugh Jackman to do it.
Well, they're gonna have to get somebody else that's not Hugh Jackman. I mean, didn't he say after a while he's gonna stop being Wolverine anyway? So they're gonna have to find somebody else. I mean, I feel like you got to have Cyclops and, your regular... I mean, I guess it all depends on what kind of series this is. Is this X-Men Evolution live action, or is this, the regular X-Men,
I view this as an X-Men C-Team TV show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're not going to have Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey in this show. I don't think that at all. They'll have John Proudstar or
Yeah, might have
Pixie,
Beast
or
as a.
I think Beast is too high profile, honestly.
I mean, they
They'll
could have him as an instructor or something like that.
Yeah, but they'll have like the most C grade X-Men characters you can think of.
Well, that's terrible for Fox because with their, you know, way that they cancel series or start moving them around and crap, you know, it, it won't live very long.
No.
I think what makes Gotham great is that it's set before all that, and you still have all the characters. They're just, you know, their younger selves, or you know, and it's. I can totally understand that, and it's based more off of Gordon than it is, you know, Batman. But you know, unless they can hit that again with X-Men, I don't know that getting a C team X-Men and making it like you're saying X-Men Agents of Shield is going to work. Because I wonder sometimes if Agents of Shield, if Disney didn't own the Marvel license, if it wouldn't have been canceled already.
Oh, yeah, totally, because it gets low ratings now. I mean, the sad part is it's actually a good show now. Like, they fucked it up for so long, though, that no one's watching it right now.
That's sad. I totally, like, after the first season, I kind of just...
Yeah, like
yeah.
they split it up, and they split the season up now into two arcs. The first one is like Ghost Rider, and the
Right.
second one is like life model decoys, like robots. And like the Ghost Rider stuff was like really good, and no one watched it. And it's like, well, because people know that like for 2 years you screwed this up for so long. So what do you expect?
Sadness, but hey, Marvel's not stopping there. They're making 2 more series here, and they're going to be featuring young adults. So, you know, for the younger crowd here, one's going to be on Freeform, which is I think, ABC. It used to be the ABC Family, then Fox.
Yeah, they've changed names so many times.
Yeah, so now it's Freeform. I think Disney. Does Disney still own this, or is it? I don't know. I don't know what that was. But you know, it's Cloak and Dagger, and you have Olivia Holt from the Kickin' It show, and Aubrey Joseph of the Night of is going to be Cloak. Olivia Holt is going to be Dagger, and it's coming of age story of both of them here. So we have the pictures here in the doc of the actors.
They look fine. I'm kind of curious how old the kid is, like the guy, because he looks young.
He's got to be in his
late
teens, early 20s.
She's 19. I don't know. He looks like 17, maybe. I don't even know. That's the thing. He could be 17 or 20, really.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious about where they'll place it, or how they'll do it.
Yeah, I mean,
will it be connected to like the Marvel landscape?
That's going to be interesting, yeah, because I mean the Netflix shows obviously are connected. Agents of Shield is loosely connected when it wants to be, and then you know you got this, and you've also got the Runaways that are going to be on Hulu, so now they're on everything. And you've got 6 lead actors sitting here for this, which again we have the pictures here for these actors, and it's I have no idea who any of these actors are.
No, of course
except
not.
for Virginia Gardner. Renzi Feliz from Teen Wolf, the MTV Teen Wolf, Alex Wilder, Lyrica Okano from The Affair, which that's a relatively new show that I don't watch either, as Nico Minoru, Virginia Gardner from The Goat as Carolina Dean, Ariella Barr from New Girl, which I stopped watching that show after a while, Greg Sulkin from Faking It and Antisocial, and Allegra Acosta from Just Add Magic, whatever the hell that show is, as Molly Hernandez. So
that's the one I don't like. is because they're messing with that character's ethnicity a little.
Is she not Latina?
No, she's a white girl with blonde hair. her name is Molly Hayes.
Yeah, they gave the white. So is there two girls with? Is there two white blonde-headed girls?
No, because the one you're talking about, Virginia, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
No, because in the comics she's like she has like prismatic skin. She's like pink and blue.
Oh.
So
I'm
it's
sure
like
the production costs would be too high for what Hulu wants to pay to be doing that.
Which is $20.
Well, you never know. Maybe in season 2, if Hulu is really good at, they'll keep bringing back their shows, much like Netflix. So, you know, we'll have to see. I'm sure these will do okay. It seems like they should just be on the CW, but
No, well, they can't be because it's,
right. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, Freeform is basically their version of.
I mean, honestly, they should just be on Netflix. Like, they can still make the show.
I think they just wanted to have deals with all the different companies, sort of. Like, they wanted to have a deal with Hulu, and they wanted to have a deal with Netflix so they can have different things on those. And hey, if you're Marvel and Disney and all that, why not? You can do it, right? So let's talk about some games that we've been playing, because we have been playing some good games here.
Peter Capaldi's leaving Doctor Who.
Oh, yes. Peter Capaldi leaving Doctor... Oh, how sad. I hate seeing him go, but this would be you're getting close to that three-year run anyway.
Yeah, so. I would, it's a shame he's leaving. Him especially, I could understand why he's leaving more than the others, because, that is a pretty, he's not exactly a spry young guy, let's be honest.
Right.
And that's like a pretty physically demanding role when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So him, it's a shame, but he's getting out kind of early while he can. So who do you want to take over?
I can think of a guy right now.
It won't be Idris Elba.
Oh, damn it! Why not?
Get Michael K. Williams, the guy who plays Omar, to do it.
Yeah, I would think that Idris Elba would probably be the more likely of those two. See, I don't know, man. I wonder if they would play around with the female doctor thing at this point.
Well, everyone is just like, oh, I want Tilda Swinton to do it, and it's like, she's a movie star. She's not going to fuck around at this TV show for 6 months or whatever. You're out of your minds.
No, yeah, she's not. And
I saw this thing on, I think, a Digital Spy. They were like, oh, who could be the new Doctor? And they were like Tom Hiddleston or Idris Elba, and it's like, again, they are movie stars.
Yeah, these are big name actors.
They're not gonna fuck around at the TV show.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. TV is in a golden age right now too, where you're seeing a lot of people come back to TV. I wouldn't, put it past them, but again, like you said, Doctor Who's rather demanding, and I honestly, there's no way I see Tom Hiddleston doing it. I mean, I guess if you threw enough money at Idris Elba just to say, hey, you got the first black Doctor, but I feel like it's probably going to be just another unknown person or somebody in that same class of Peter Capaldi, like somebody you might barely know, but not.
Yeah, okay. This is some of their proposed people who might do it. Rupert Grint from Harry Potter. Tom Hiddleston is one. They said Matt Smith or David Tennant might come back. I'm like, yeah, that'll really happen.
They're not.
Daniel Craig. It's like, yeah, I'm sure that he'll really do it.
Yeah.
or Daniel Radcliffe. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, freaking Daniel Craig won't even decide to leave Bond right now? You think he's going to go to do Doctor Who? I don't see it. Not at all. I think people are just wish. I mean, it's fine. Fantasy book all you want to, but doesn't mean it's going to happen.
The one female I would like to do it would probably be like Haley Atwell. Like, she could pull it off pretty well, and she doesn't mind doing TV.
Yeah, I could see her doing that. I mean, I haven't seen her in anything in a while, but...
Well, her ABC show bombed pretty bad, so...
sad for her. So, alright, let's talk about these games here that we've been playing, and we've both been... Did they just forget to put it in the review section? Because I don't see your Yakuza review there.
It should be up there.
They might have put it in the news and forgot to move it over. Because I look at the last reviews that's in that review section is your Planet Coaster review.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so you've officially reviewed Yakuza 0. I'm still making my way through it now that I'm done with Halo Wars. I don't know that we actually... Did we talk about it the last time we had a...
We did a little, but we were both under embargo.
Yeah, okay, so, I mean, what do you...
Yeah, it's on there. It's just been attached to the review section for some reason. Yeah, it's in columns, that's why.
That's funny. I was like, well, what the hell? I can't look at it. I
gave it a 9.5 out of 10. I really like that game. It has some small problems, I think, but they are pretty negligible in the grand scheme of things.
What problems did you, I mean, other than, like those goons that you have to fight all the time that...
I love those guys. Those guys are great.
They're hilarious.
They are not a problem to me. Because you can take them down really easily if you know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. They're nothing.
You just need an electric shotgun, and they go down quick. Like, some of the map stuff disappears, like, certain missions, like, the map indicator's gone. You just have to, like, hunt around to trigger the next event, which is, like, very tedious and boring if you don't know what you're doing. Some of the minigames are pretty bad, or not explained well. Like, baseball is a crime, I think, because it's just terrible. But that's kind of about it, honestly. I'd like it if the cities were bigger. That's, neither here nor there, really.
Right.
But I think it's a great game.
Yeah,
really good combat system.
Oh yeah, I love the combat system. It's fun. I mean, I find myself just kind of using the pink one most of the time because it's really fast. But
for which guy?
Goro for
Kiryu.
Kiryu, because I don't have the other guy yet. But
you haven't gotten it yet, I don't think. But Kiryu has have you gotten the orange one?
I only have the first 3.
Yeah, well, yellow is the yellow one. I use that the most, actually.
Oh, the one where you throw stuff around, the bear one?
Yeah, because he has a great move where he can pick up a guy and, like, spin him around and he hits 2 other people.
Oh, well, yeah. I'll probably play around with it more. I kind of like just getting rid of the goons, like, really fast.
Yeah. Have you, like the Mr. Shakedown?
Oh, God. He freaking took, like, 9 million yen away from me or whatever. I got into, like, a little bit before he was going to die, and then he clocked me really hard with the damn punch he took out.
They hurt. They hurt bad.
Oh, God. They take away half your health when you're trying to kill him. I'm just like, jeez. And then I didn't have any curatives on me at that point, right when because I was trying to find a damn store. Yeah. And I hadn't figured out on the map that, like, yellow means the stores.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there trying to find a store for the life of me, and then the one place where I needed to go, he was there, and I'm trying to go backwards, and I run into a freaking wall, and he happens to keep moving, and I'm like, oh my, damn it. Like, the one time I run into you.
So, here's the thing. When you get the other guy, his name's Goro, I forget his last name. He's a better fighter, I think, because I didn't find Kiryu that much to fun to fight with.
Right.
But Goro has one style is like normal, just like punches and kicks. One style he brings out a baseball bat, and he uses it like a nunchuck, and it's awesome. And his third style is like capoeira, like he just starts breakdancing and kicking the shit out of people.
Awesome.
But each character also has a fourth hidden style.
I'm guessing you have to do a bunch of stuff to unlock it or whatever?
Yeah, you have to, we haven't gotten to it yet, but Kiryu has like a real estate business he does.
Right.
And Goro has his name is Majima. He has like a cabaret club he has to run, and you have to progress all the way through that to unlock their hidden styles. And Kiryu's is just like another like punching and kicking style, which is kind of boring. But Majima's is he takes out a knife and starts laughing like the Joker and starts cutting people up. It's hysterical.
Awesome. Well, I am looking forward to continuing to go through this game and hopefully get. Go ahead.
I was going to say, with Majima, you unlock the what is it? The weapon shop, and then you can take down Mr. Shakedown guys, because you literally get something called a zap gun, which is like an electric shotgun, and they go down like 3 hits.
Oh, nice.
But awesome. They start getting harder, so it takes more hits to like take them down. But you know, I got like 1.8 billion yen off them.
Damn. Never run out of money at that point.
No.
I think I've done the bowl. I did the bowling right before we started or whatever. That was.
I like bowling. I actually like bowling in that game.
Yeah, that was fun. You had the little meter goes back and forth, and then you have to pick the power and all that stuff. And
yeah.
I like that you can just by going to the store, going to the bowling, just by talking to the girl, you can have this relationship with them.
So, I'll give you a little spoiler for that one. So you're playing as Kiryu when you bowl,
right?
And she keeps talking about like a bowling championship they have to do, which is really annoying actually. But once you win it, you unlock a financial advisor for your real estate shop, and it is a chicken.
Oh man, I want to get this chicken now.
Guys, she's like, oh, the bowling winner gets a turkey, and he's like, okay, like I'll try it, and then you win it, and it's a live chicken, and he's like, well, first of all, it's alive, and second of all, this is a chicken, and she's like, well, I could go kill it real quick if you want me to, and he's like, no, and he stares at the chicken, and the chicken stares back, and I'm gonna keep it, and it becomes a financial advisor for you. Like, there is some goofy shit in that game. Like, you meet Michael Jackson, like a Michael Jackson wannabe, like, character. Steven Spielberg is, like, kind of in it.
Well, I mean, if you played any other games, it shouldn't really surprise you, because they do a lot of that stuff in there, too. But it's very Japan. I think it's really accessible, though. I think it's not something that, like, oh, I'm going to be totally out of my depth trying to play this game. I think it's very... You learn as you go.
It's easy to get into. I think you have. I've never played a Yakuza game before, so I was able to pick this up with like little. I had some problems here and there, but like almost no problems, and just kind of go for it.
Right? Yeah. It's just a fun. And I love all the mini games that I've been able to play, and like the karaoke was hilarious. Like just.
Oh yeah, especially like 3/4 of the song where they like break out into a costume.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
What the hell's happening right here? So you also have Tales of Berseria for 2 different systems.
Yeah. So that game's weird. I don't think I actually like the gameplay that much.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine, but I'm just mashing A constantly because it's just like you decide. Like,
yep.
The data system is so like insane. It's like I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
I feel like every game since I want to say like Vesperia, they've just made it
Got
more and more complicated.
yeah, like
Like,
this one. Like if it didn't have the you decide option, I'd be lost because the computer just picks whatever. Um, but I really like the characters. The story's interesting. It's a lot smaller than Zestiria was, from what I remember. Like the world or like what you're doing. Um, I'm
as
playing
far
it.
as open world as Hysteria.
No, God no. Um, I'm primarily playing it on PC. I got about, I want to say, 30 hours into it, maybe 25. No, 34. Um, and I'm playing it on PC. It runs worse on PC than PS4, but I can use Cheat Engine to bypass all the tedious crap in the game, so that helps.
Well, yeah, of
Well,
course.
like crafting is so boring in this game. It's just like, all right, gotta disenchant, like destroy these boots to get this material out, and then I can enchant my sword with it, and it's like what does it matter? And
Yeah, and
like,
that is one of the things I've always like with the Tales games. Like I felt like there's no point in doing that. It's just
and, and the way you like learn new moves is you have to like use the weapon or gear you have for like battles. You have to like,
right.
well, if I want to learn this like +5 attack, I have to use this sword 60 times, and I'm like, this takes so long. Like, holy shit, why is this taking so long?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes me. I don't know. So would you say is it worth it if you like later when it goes on a price cut or?
Well, I got it for free, so that was cool. That's the perfect price, honestly. No, if it gets like $30, it's fine. Um, the DLC is really gross in the game, though. Like grosser than in previous games, I think. Because
Yeah,
you
you
can
were
only,
telling me on one version it's like $20 and
well, they started
what?
this PC version initially only had like 3 options. It was like one. There was like one bundle, like 5 herbs was free. They always do that. Like this is how they get you in. Um, and they had like one thing that was like $1, and then they had like one thing that was $20 for like double XP, double gold, uh, all this crap. And I think they fixed it a little, so they added more stuff into it. Like so they spaced it a little better. But the PS4 version, it just has like 20 different options, like costumes, and if you want. The grossest thing is you can only carry 15 potions at any time, like healing potions. Like there are different types, obviously, but you can only carry 15. One of the PS4 options is like carry 15 more for $1.50, and I'm like, fuck you. Every other game is carry 99 at all times. Like, why is it
Like,
limited to
oh,
15?
come on now. What the hell?
It's like, yeah, or I can play the PC version where Cheat Engine just gives me infinite of them. It's like, boy, tough option here.
Yeah, really.
But I mean, the counter to all this is the PS4 version runs better, at least than on my PC, and my PC exceeds the recommended specifications.
Wow.
That's not cool. Like
That's not good.
my PC is old now, but it still is like it exceeds it recommended specifications. So what's going on?
Yeah, no idea on that.
Like the battles are fine. Like they're like 60 frames a second.
Right.
Getting around was like I fixed it up. I lowered the specs down a little, so it's more stable now. But initially, it was like 45 frames per second, and in a big area, or if I was running away from an enemy, it would drop to like 20. And I'm like, this isn't cool. There's something wrong here.
Yeah, it should not be doing that. Well,
But
anything else? Oh, go
I
ahead.
like the game. Like I said, I think the characters are interesting. It's very dark. Like it is a super dark game. Like, and like you're basically playing as bad guys, which is kind of funny.
That's interesting.
Like you do meet like one chick who joins your party like pretty like halfway through the game, and she's like the one good character, but like your character, she just wants to like murder everyone in her path to get revenge on this guy.
No, don't hate on a woman that's been scorned.
And the other your first party member is like a demon who wants to like kill his brother.
Nice. Yeah, just lots of evil characters though.
Yeah, but it's it's Tales, so if you like that, it's more of that.
Anything else on your end?
I've been playing a little Marvel Heroes. They updated it pretty recently, which people don't like, which is big surprise. It looks like that game might finally be hitting consoles soon, which is not going to end well.
Interesting.
Like that game barely.
Go.
Well, I'll be curious if they drag in the PC account system, or like if you played on PC, if you'll just be able to log in and use what heroes and characters you have. If they do, that's great. If not, they done fucked up. But that game is super busy, so I wonder how well these things will actually run.
I mean, does DC Universe do?
No, because that's over.
Yeah, oh, that's right. They killed it.
And that was an MMO. That was different.
Well, we'll see if they can get it down.
And I've also been playing Super Metroid.
Well, it can never go wrong. Super Metroid.
I finally got a cartridge, but I think I have to do some work on it.
What's wrong with your cartridge?
When I got it, I loaded it up, and I had like one clear save on it, and like another one that was like half clear, and I started my own. And I loaded it up like an hour ago, and the saves were all gone.
Ooh.
So I think the battery's dying or dead.
That sucks. Hopefully, it's not a permanent thing.
Well, I have to fix it. I have to like desolder the battery and put in a new one.
You good luck with that. I would not know the first thing.
I'll probably pay someone to do it if I can.
I've also been playing Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which includes that 1 hour movie, which was fine. It's nothing, I mean, you do get to learn about the, I guess the prequel to everything, but it's still as confusing as everything else in Kingdom Hearts.
Just need a diagram to, figure out what's going on?
Yeah, you still need a diagram. God. Whatever, this series sometimes
I don't I appreciate that series from a pretty gameplay specific point. Right. I think those games are just fun to play, at least the first two at least. But the people who are way into that series, the lore of it, it's you need mental help.
I mean, you really need to study that crap, and you have to it's no. I love it for the Disney characters and the Final Fantasy and the gameplay and everything, but I'm just all right, well, this is probably going to go over my head, y'all, with all this Heartless and the Heart this and the Kingdom Hearts, all right.
The nothings, how they spawn from the Heartless and all this other crap.
The nobodies from the Heartless and, that's your nobody, Sora, and all right, whatever.
And then how Aqua and how Roxas, who the fuck that kid is, how they all intertwine and...
Yeah, I had to go play the Birth by Sleep first to really kind of understand that thing with Aqua, but I have been playing the Dream Drop Distance. It plays really well. I've only played the 3DS version for a little bit, but if this is what Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be on PS4, please sign me up. Or if this is what the collection's going to be on PS4, sign me up because it runs beautifully. There's no frame rate drop. It's just super smooth. The switching between Riku and Sora is really good, and I don't like the drop system as nobody does, but it's part of that game and it is what it is. But I'm almost I have those two collections on PS3, and I'm almost really tempted to get them on PS4 because it runs so well, and I want to get a chance to play them again.
I'll get it on PS4 just because I want to have like both games on one thing.
Right.
But I mean, I'm sure it'll just play the same.
Interesting too that Final Fantasy 12 is apparently going to be on Xbox One. After they did not port 10, 10.2, or the other damn game.
7, 8, 9, none of them are on Xbox.
Well, like they didn't port 10.2, 10 and 10.2 over there, but they are gonna have 12. That's weird. Normally, like if it's been a Sony thing, it stays a Sony thing. But you're not gonna have Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and whatever on Xbox One, but you are gonna have 3. Okay, whatever. It still doesn't make any sense to me, but that's how things roll, I guess. But I mean, I think that's it for us on this show. We'll try to. I'm going to make this a thing where we are doing this in our regular schedule. Wednesday night, Thursday-ish, around there. But until next week, where Neo finally comes out on the PS4, I've asked for a copy. Sony's never responded to me on anything, so I'm not expecting anything here. But you never know. Also, the re-releases, or I don't know if you call them remasters, of Knights of Azure and Alchemist, or Altair Sophie, Alchemist of the Mysterious Book, both of which are on PS4 right now, and I think they're both on Vita. So you can...
Knights of Azure is a bad game.
Yeah. We might get those for review, so those PC-only people are probably going to get stuck with those. And I think there's a...
You mean me, don't you? Bastard.
No, I don't. I don't mean you. I mean some of these new kids that we have that are like only PC people. I think one of them has an Xbox One, but still, like, so I mean, yeah, we have that, and then there's like a Naruto 4 DLC and the Yoshi's Woolly World on 3DS, and that's sort of it for this week. But we're starting to get into more bigger games as the weeks go on. Of course, Horizon Zero Dawn there at the end of the month of February. So, but
that's a small game.
Yeah, it's only small. It's and then you got the Switch coming out like 5 days later, or like 4 days later. So, no big deal. Whatever. But until next week, we'll see you guys later, everybody.
Later.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.